Hello guys, welcome to yet another episode of the Sports Lounge on Elegbete TV, the best sports show in Nigeria. We don't only call ourselves the best because of the content we put out, but because of the people we can bring. Well, we have a lot of people in here today. Let's meet them, shall we? First off is the man who talks about boxing like he's in love. He's in love with the sport. Tobi Dada. Tobi, how you doing?
Good, bro.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Hope you've been good.
Yeah, very good. Thank you.
Okay, the person second to my left, a real celebrity on her hands because not only was she the face of the Access Marathon, she continues fighting the battles for feminists in Obalende. Maureen, how are you doing?
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
You look amazing, by the way.
Thank you so much.
Is the red because of is the Valentine
the
weekend?
Valentine's season?
And of course, the man who can bring numbers out of anything is Precious Omusuwe, the professor himself. Precious, how are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing well.
Well, the name remains Bamiji, and we have a lot of topics to drop today. But first of all, we'll be starting with the most glaring that came out this weekend. Precious, and I'll start with you. Aguero came out some years back, saying he's not going to leave Manchester City until they win the Champions League. And it seems he's going to retire there. Because for the next 2 seasons, it seems like Manchester City will be banned from the Champions League. Or any European competition. How did you react to that news?
Well, it was a mixed feeling for me, hearing that City, one of England's best, that they have one of the best chances for the English teams of winning the competition. It was quite a terrible one for me to hear something like that. However, will I say it's really a big deal? City fans, they really don't come out for Champions League games. Yeah, you know the name empty hat. They really don't come out for Champions League games. So, well, just for the prestige of having world-class players like Kevin De Bruyne and Sergio Aguero, I hope they win their appeal. But I think that's a very, very tall order. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of spotlight on UEFA now because you've come out to make the decision already. Anything Manchester City is going to do is going to seem like there'll be a corrupt this thing coming out from UEFA. Do you think UEFA they're really in a corner with this decision they made?
It will be interesting to see how they deal with PSG, because they are almost in the same. People look at PSG and City with the same kind of lenses. Yeah, oil-rich guys. Suddenly they just came out from nowhere, stuff like that. I would like to see how they handle the issue with the same issue with PSG as well. Yeah.
Okay. Maureen, the financial fair play, what they try to do is they try to make sure that there's an equal bargaining power for both the big teams and the small teams, so that nobody's being cheated.
Yeah.
So with this coming out and the ban possibly also meaning a deduction in points for Manchester City.
Yeah.
Do you see players like Aguero, Kevin De Bruyne, like Precious said, do you see them wanting to leave Manchester City?
I believe that the players who play for Man City right now, I mean, most of them, when they started, Man City wasn't playing on this level, and they do it out of love. Like Aguero said those years back, unprovoked. He's not leaving until he wins a Champions League. But the thing is, what we've seen over the past couple of years is that people have kind of followed more of trophies, more of money. If Aguero leaves, the City fans will probably take it the way Barca fans took Neymar leaving. Mm-hmm. They're very emotionally attached to him. He's one of their best players and that kind of thing. But as if you're looking at it from a logical point of view, you can't blame them for wanting to leave. Aguero is 29 right now. By the time the ban is lifted, he'll be 31. Mm-hmm. His chances of winning a Champions League at 31, they've gone down. Yeah. But now, if he goes somewhere else next year, if anybody will have him, he could still stand a chance. He needs that for his career because he's a great player. We've seen his numbers. We've seen what he's done. He's a record-breaking striker. He deserves it. So if he does it, you may be angry as a City fan. You may be angry as the kind of person who holds on to, players being loyal to the clubs that brought them to the limelight. But at the end of the day, think about it as a person. He deserves it. He's talented enough for it.
Another man who is going to be in the spotlight for this is Pep Guardiola. Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of sayings about Pep that he only stays when
things are good. Yeah. Things are rosy. Yes.
Things are definitely difficult right now. Yeah. What do you think Pep's going to do?
For me, I feel like people are a little hard on Pep. Yes, Pep has had a rosy time at City, the money, the good players, and everything. But that's not his fault, right? I mean, if you look at a club, look at a club like my club, Manchester United. We've spent money on managers as well, but no manager has been able to do what Pep has done for City. So there's money, but you can't also look down on the man's genius. So, but like now people are getting to him, and you hear the things he says in the press these days of, oh, he doesn't believe in himself. He doesn't. So like now he's trying to like now sink down to the level that people are throwing him down to, so that when he makes that dip, they'll be like, well, he was already failing anyways. So I think he may dip, he may not dip, but the way he's going, the things he's saying, sounding like he wants to, so he may go deep and then say, okay, I want to take a job at a smaller club to show you guys that I'm the guy. For me, that would be like him shooting himself in the foot, because you have oil money. It's not your fault, right? Exactly, like it's not your fault that they're giving you the exactly. You keep attracting these teams with good money, good players. So if he stays and he still continues, I mean, this season is already out for them in the Premier League, obviously with Liverpool 22 points
And Champions League too.
you know, but like if he still stays next year, he does something good. It will forever be in the record that Pep Guardiola was able to do this in the face of all odds. If he also leaves as well, you know. And Chelsea left and came to, you know, to a smaller club to try and make something happen, right? Yeah. So if he leaves and he goes somewhere small and he still is able to make something happen, it should still go on his name as Pep Guardiola was able to do this, I think.
Can I comment a bit here? I want to take a cue from something she said about FFP and tell you why it may not be very, very bad for players to leave City now. Let's look at it this way. If with all the overinflated figures, they still couldn't fall within the FFP rules. Okay. Now, can you imagine what it would be like to not have the 100 million or thereabout coming from the Champions League to add to your figures? Now, a home games in the Champions League alone in a season could fetch you up to 30-40 million pounds. So if you are taking out around 100 to 130 million pounds from your annual income, how easy is it going to be for you to meet up with, factor in the salary of the caliber of players they have at City? We're not even talking about attracting elite or players from other teams, because it becomes even difficult. Maintaining the high-class players that they have now, all those will be factored in the calculation for FFP. It's going to be very difficult for City to meet up again in a long while. So we're just looking at the immediate 2 years they are going to miss out on. Or after the 2 years, are they still going to be able to, how are they going to balance before they'll be readmitted into the Champions League? So it won't be a surprise if players like Kevin De Bruyne. As a matter of fact, I think it's actually even possible for players to cancel their contracts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll see. We'll probably see some of that.
You will see some of that come, some litigations coming out. I'm sure the lawyers will be excited now. Players could cancel their contracts and walk out of City as free agents. Yeah, we could see stuff like that happen.
It will take a lot of loyalty and love.
Do we still have loyalty in football these days?
Man, I don't think
Kevin De Bruyne not playing the Champions League for like the rest of his prime.
I don't think so. Tobi, let's bring you into it, even though it's not going to be a boxing question. Now that there seems to be, they know that a gloom is coming, do you think that will be motivation enough for them to win the Champions League this year? I mean, mind you, they face Real Madrid in the round of 16.
First, I want to get this off my chest. Pep is a fraud.
Wow.
Full stop.
Joseph Guardiola?
Yeah, and I never really liked the guy. So, it's sort of, I'm happy.
Wow.
You're one of the people I'm talking about.
But really, I want the UEFA to reduce it to 1 season. Just because...
Okay, so you hate him, but you don't hate him so much that it should be
not too much, yeah. But certainly he's getting out of the Champions League. I believe Madrid are going to dump them out of the Champions League. Yeah, that's my take on that. I want them to still to do well, but certainly they won't win the Champions League.
How about, is that the take for you guys too?
Well, I think it could be extra motivation for them. Let's travel back to 2012. That was the last chance for a lot of the big guys at Chelsea to win the Champions League. They finished 6th in the Premier League that season, but then against all odds,
there seemed to be a spirit that just took them
like something else. They just had to win it. And after that, that was Drogba's last kick in a Chelsea shirt. So for a lot of these guys, they don't know what could be the outcome of the appeal with CAS. Okay, so winning it this season could represent their best chance of ever winning.
You know, I'm a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
The spirit that Chelsea as a team had then, and the caliber of players, the leadership and all, it's a lot different from what City has now. Because
it's not the same. I say it's not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same.
That's true. City, Chelsea had real leaders in there. They had Drogba, they had John Terry, they had Frank Lampard.
And we still won. We went ahead. Imagine after Bayern played us all through the game, we were still pushing. City Let them be 2-0 up. The other team scores 1. You will see the mental
Change.
weakness
Yeah,
in
you
the
have a
team. They
point.
don't have that mental strength. And same thing with Guardiola. That's why I really don't rate him. 2-0 up against Wolves. 3-2 full time. I'm like, because of a red card, and you were a coach, and you just sat down there. You couldn't stand up and shout at your players. I was so disgusted at I'm telling you, that is a fraud. I'm telling you seriously. I'm really, I'm not happy with Fred.
Well, that topic is going to be a topic we'll save for later. But Maureen, do you think Man City can win the Champions League this season?
I believe they can rustle together something, but if they're facing Real Madrid in round of 16, Real Madrid has something to prove.
Are you just saying this because your boyfriend is a Real Madrid fan?
Oh, no, you know me, I'm objective.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm objective. Real Madrid, they have something to prove. I believe that they're not just going to sit on their oars. And like he said, as opponents, they already may know that Man City are not the kind of team with grit to kind of come back from falling down with strength. So they're going to want to play on that team, on the fact that Man City may currently be falling apart behind the scenes. And they also have players who are strong, who have something to prove.
Yeah, they have Hazard who's come back.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But like, yeah, I'm saying like they may want to show something. They have something to prove. So it will be interesting to see. Real Madrid has something to prove. City has something to prove. May the best man win. I don't care. I don't have a horse in the race, so I don't care.
It's definitely going to be a very
Yeah.
great game. So let's take a break from football and let's go into boxing. Tobi, AJ, even though he's not going to be in a big fight, he's come out and he said some big things about somebody who's going to be in a big fight. And I was wondering why. Is he trying to get into the mind of this person? He's come out to say that Wilder's punching technique is not so strong when he's going to be facing Fury very soon. What do you have to do about what's your take on that?
Yes, I sort of agree with him in that sense, because the logic he put forward prior to saying that Wilder dropped Fury in the 12th round with a huge right that clubbed him a bit, and then a left hook that swept him to the canvas. Very good. But Fury got up. In the 12th round, you're meant to be famished. You're meant to be tired. So if that power was not enough to take him out totally, so that means the power is not as devastating as we think it is. It's there. Everybody can see it's there. He hits you on your forehead, you go down. But when you look at the caliber of opponents that such punches have they've been effective against, you can't compare them to the likes of AJ, Fury, Dillian White, Usyk, and so on. You can't. So that's why I support that notion that, yeah, the power is there, but it's not as devastating as we think it is. And even if, my own take on that is a stinging power. You know, there are some boxers that when they land on you, you just feel your energy levels zap straight away. But there are some fighters that when they hit you, you see stars. He has that kind of power. But if you can weather it for a minute, you're back to full strength. You understand? So that's the kind of power he has. AJ's power is the kind of draining power. So that's why it drains you. So that's why in the 7th round, you're coming out, it's just coming to knock you out. Because all the punches he's been giving you, they've drained you. But Wilder's power is one punch, you go down. If you can survive that, then you do well.
Sorry, if what you're saying, if I'm thinking of what you're saying that so someone of Wilder, you need to throw a lot of punches since the effects or the after effects of his punches are not going to really knock you out. That means you have to go.
He needs to keep landing that right hand till you cannot get up anymore. And certainly as a boxer, if you take 4 of those right hands and you've gone down 4 times, the referee will even have pity. He'll be sorry for you and just wave up. So you have to have a mix of the two. Like against a Fury, he was able to drop him twice in the first fight. This time around, Fury has to ensure that if at all he goes down, it shouldn't be more than once. Against an AJ, if he becomes wild and one of those left uppercuts or left hooks from AJ hits him, it will watch it, because when you're fighting the top guys that are heavy-handed, you'll be careful. And then against a Dillian White too can get wild, and a left hook from Dillian White, you go down. So against the top guys, he will certainly be careful and just be looking for the opportunity to set up a very good right hand and land
And
it on
land
him
it like
because
4
he
times
knows
so that the
we are
referee
going to
will call it.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so using this, what's your prediction for the fight coming up on the 22nd, if I'm correct?
22nd, yeah, February 22nd.
So what's your prediction? Does Wilder need to? Is that the tactic Wilder has to?
That's the tactics for Wilder. That's the only thing Wilder can do. Just try and set up the right hand. Whatever, maybe he tries to go to the body first and come up top with a right hand. I don't know, but that's just his tactics. But for Fury, I had a very strong argument on Twitter with some of my boxing friends over the week, and I said Fury is going to win this fight. I'm as sure as 80% because the fight itself is not. If Fury was Fury of old, this fight is not even something we should be discussing because we will flatline him. If the Fury that faced Klitschko comes out for this fight, Wilder is gone. But we still, with boxing fans, we still have a little bit of doubt that will this kind of Fury be able to come out with the problems of substance abuse, depression? Yeah. You understand? He's overcome those, but those things can still come into your mind and play their tricks. You understand? So, but Fury, the first fight, coming off a massive weight loss of over 100 pounds, and he still put on that good performance, was still able to get up in the 12th round after going down heavily. What else does Wilder want to do? He shoots a right hand, Fury goes down. I'm 80% sure he's going to get up. So Fury just needs to be more elusive and know when to step on the gas. He steps on the gas more, Wilder might even go down in this fight. But my final prediction is Fury unanimous decision. Yeah.
Well, you read from our boxing expert. We'll be going on a short break, but Tobi said it. He said Fury is going to knock Wilder out. When we come back, we'll be talking about 2 English strikers, and Tobi will be telling us about some other boxing matches that occurred in the past week.
Yeah, hello. I am Giovanni Elba, ex-FC Bayern player, and I win Champions League 2001, and keep watching LB TV.
Welcome back, guys. Maureen, I'm going to put you on the spotlight now because, yeah, you had the headlines last week, but you still disappointed us. You didn't finish in the top 5 of the marathon. That's might be the face of the marathon. You didn't finish top 5.
In the top 5 of the marathon, they know themselves.
Well, now let's talk about a man who dominated this week's headlines and he still proved it on the pitch. It's Danny Ings. There's so much story about him because he's come a long way from being that Burnley forward to the move to Liverpool, where he didn't really work out for him, before ending up at Southampton, where he seems to have found a home. Yeah. And he scored 18 goals this season, 15 in the Premier League. Is he telling Southgate that you have to pick me or you're mad?
I believe so, because I feel like, so now people are pitching him against Tammy Abraham, who is Southgate going to go with.
Yeah, because, I mean, if Harry Kane is fit, Harry Kane will be the number one, who is going to be the backup. In
the absence of Harry Kane, obviously, no doubt about it, Danny Ings, definitely. But if Harry Kane is coming back, we've heard some good news that he may be coming back for the end of the season, which is fabulous for Southgate. But for me, I believe that Danny Ings is a better choice because Danny Ings has proven himself, like you said, with his track record. He has struggled. Now he has come to a place where he is performing consistently. Not only is he performing consistently, he's performing across board. Put him with a small team, put him with a big team, he's going to score a goal. So I feel like that's what they need in that English team. Tammy Abraham, fantastic talent. People really had a lot of expectations. He may not have lived up to those expectations. And I feel like maybe if you give him 1 or more seasons to kind of grow into that role of being like an elite striker, a striker on the rise, definitely in a couple of years, he may be ready. But if the conversation is between Tammy Abraham, Danny Ings, my money is on Danny Ings. He's going to perform. You just know that you need to, because he's the kind of person who has gone through all of these things and now he has finally found his footing. So he's going to want to show you that you brought me in here and it wasn't a mistake. I'm going to get you the goals. Well, let's leave the talk of one English striker on form to one that is not so much on form. Still the top scorer of the Premier League, though. What's going on with Jamie Vardy?
My FPL.
When you give birth, you should be happy. Like it's not done the baby celebration yet. What's going on? What do you think has going on with this?
I think. Let's say this happened coincided with when Wilfred Ndidi got injured.
Okay.
Yeah, having Wilfred in the team allows you to play very expansive football. Yeah, because he's there to do the dirty job for the team. But then they lost him, and they really don't have the kind of player who would
can-
replicate the kind of defensive numbers that Wilfred puts up. So it kind of shackled them a little bit. You notice that not only Vardy lost form, looks like he's lost form.
The whole attackator.
Chilwell also, who
True.
has been a very fantastic attacking outlet for
True.
Leicester City this season,
True.
has also lost form. You know, the guy who puts everything, who glues the team together, went out injured. So it's normal that some level of caution will come into the team now. Vardy is no longer that explosive guy that he's been. But I think knowing Vardy for the kind of strong, he has a strong mentality. Yeah, if he scores, just puts one in the back of the net, the confidence will come back. Confidence is a very, very key thing for strikers. Once one of those shots hits the back of the net, you won't be surprised you see him going on maybe a hat-trick, a brace, and then finish the season with a flourish.
Okay, so do you buy into what Precious is saying, that the importance of Ndidi is what's causing this loss of confidence for Jamie Vardy as well?
Yeah, I would like to say that I believe so, because now without Ndidi, like you said, holding the team together, Vardy now has more responsibilities on his shoulder. He cannot go out there and chase the goal with as much grace.
Yeah, because there's that mindset
yeah, exactly. There's that mindset that there's no one watching my back. He's not bouncing off anybody. But then again, I would like to say that it's been a couple of weeks now, so I feel like. But maybe giving to Precious's points, maybe when he scores that first goal, he will then come back. But the build up to that first goal is taking a lot of time. He's sitting at the top of top scorer, but there's people coming behind him trying to take that from him. So I feel like he needs to kind of hasten up, because if Ndidi is not coming back anytime soon, is he going to then relax on his own hours and say, Ndidi is not here, there's nothing I can do? So I feel like the build up to that first goal, post whatever has happened, is what everyone is watching now. So if it comes fast, if it comes soon, good for Vardy. If it doesn't, next person takes top scorer place, and
I'm glad you brought up the competition that is going on between the goal scorers in EPL, because we put you on the spot when you were last year, and you mentioned a certain Pookie, although he's nowhere to be found right now. So I'm going to put you on the spot again. Do you think Vardy is still gonna stay top?
I believe in Vardy. I really like Vardy. I believe in him. Like what the Leicester team is doing this season is amazing. Second only to what they did the season that they won, right? So I believe in Vardy. I'm an underdog kind of girl. I believe in the underdog. I want to see the underdog win. But if the underdog is not doing the work, what am I going to do? Exactly. But I want to see him. I want to see him with that boot. I want to see. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Marisol. I'll be coming to you with one final topic. But Tobi, let's leave some of the big boxing guys and let's talk about the small guys. Jones had a fight recently. How did you see that fight go?
Dominic whooped him. Not as bad as I explained it, but as I stressed it. But Jones didn't win that fight. Any UFC fan would know that Jones didn't win that fight. First,
but he won on.
The judges
gave him, but he didn't win it.
He didn't win the fight. Dominic beat him up rounds 1 to 3, and convincingly 2. So, but he took rounds 4 and 5. Still, round 4, I could still say, Dominic made a case for that, but I will give him. So that's 3 rounds to 2. That's a Dominic Reyes' win. So I was shocked too, and the fact he came out and said, "Yeah, I did the takedowns. I did very weak points." I beg, excuse me with all those nonsense.
Do you like him as a fighter, Jones?
I don't really, because he's cheated once, and the fact that he cheated and he wasn't really remorseful about it. This is about life and death. You're taking substances that shouldn't be found with you, and trying to use it to gain an advantage. It's wrong. So I don't really fancy him for that, and I really hope someone delivers him his heart.
Well, let's go to a man that I think you do fancy, because you were, this guy won. Caleb Plant just defended his IBF league title.
Yeah.
How do you see Caleb Plant as a fighter?
Caleb Plant is a solid super middleweight guy, and but the super middleweight division is stacked right now. They have 4 champions with 4 different belts. Yuse, Benavides, yeah, if I got that right. Then Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, and Billy Joe Sanders. That's how I rate them. You understand? Benavides is a top talent, very young guy, huge, unbeaten, and has a very good jab and very strong punches. Callum Smith disappointed me in his last outing, and for me right now, is someone that there are lots of question mark on him. Then Caleb Plant can upset Callum Smith if that fight is made, but I doubt it will be made. Then Billy Joe Sanders, middleweight. I don't really think he has a shot against those guys.
Who's currently topping that division?
Benavides.
Okay.
Surely. Canelo wants to fight any of the four. I know Canelo. He knows the fighter that can give him hell. He will stay away from Benavides. I know him. But any of the other three, Canelo beats them 7 days a week. Beats them, and twice on a Sunday. But Benavides is going to give him hell, and Canelo, I know, will stay away from him for now till he can maybe grow into that role and beat him up.
Is anybody going to challenge Caleb Plant for?
Yeah, Caleb Plant might be fighting Canelo next if Callum Smith and Billy Joe Sanders don't sign a contract to fight him. But I believe Callum Smith will step up and fight Canelo. Canelo wins that belt, and Canelo might immediately unify against Caleb Plant or Billy Joe Sanders.
Okay, that's brilliant stuff. Just before we leave you and finally boxing, what's Ruiz Jr.? What's he been up to since his infamous loss against AJ?
Ruiz has disappointed so many people. Ruiz has just been faffing. Seriously, I am so disappointed because this is someone that should really take this fighting game serious.
No, yeah, I mean, you arose our expectations for you.
Yes, and then you just want to go ahead and waste all the 22 million. It's a lot of money. $22 million is a lot of money. But come on, Ruiz, he could fight Dillian White next. He could have been getting that fight now, and he beats Dillian White. He gets back into the pole position to the top 3 guys. But this guy is just partying. He has a wife at home, but he's with women all over and drinking. I'm like, bro, come on.
Thank you very much, Tobi. Really appreciate the analysis. But before we end today's show, Precious, there's a question that I saw on Twitter, and I just have to bring it to you to just help me decode it. Attacking and defending. Yeah. We've spoken about a lot of attackers today, Vardy, Ings, but what do you think is harder to coach, attacking or defending?
Eden Hazard said Jose Mourinho doesn't bother to teach them attacking patterns. He's more concerned about the defense. And let me tell you why it is very, very important. Let's create 2 mental columns now. On one column, we have the most goals conceded in a season, the record for most goals conceded, most goals scored. On another column, let's have the least goals conceded in a season. Okay. From the year 1995-96, the Premier League had started playing 380 games. Okay? Now, the record for the most goals conceded in a season has been broken 4 times. The record for the least number of goals conceded in a season has been smashed just 3 times. Now, if you go back to the most number of goals scored in a season, we have had more than 95 goals scored, or more than 90 goals scored rather, on 5 different occasions. City with the most recent, 106. Now, if you go to the least number of goals, we have only had teams concede less than 20 goals in a season twice since the year 92. Arsenal in the year 98, 99, and then Chelsea in 04, 05. Okay, it is easy for anybody to set up a team, get attack-minded there and say, oh, go express yourself and score goals. But then it takes a defensively astute manager to set up a team, keep them fully focused, and make that the hallmark of their team. Jose Mourinho said something to Brendan Rodgers when Rodgers accused Chelsea of coming to Anfield to pack the bus. Jose said if Liverpool knew how to pack the bus, they would have won the league under Brendan Rodgers. That killed it for me. I think it's a more difficult job to coach a team to defend than to teach them how to attack.
It goes with the saying that attack might win you game, but
defense will win you title.
Are you game with that?
Yeah, kind of. I'm on board. I'm on board with that. Attackers, like he said, just go out there, express yourself. But defense is a more tactical job. Yeah. It's talent, it's tactics, it's knowing what you're doing and having that mindset, like he said. And we've attack. You can go there, score as many goals as you want, but if your defenders are not doing the work, they will score you. Exactly, because the other team also has attackers who are out there expressing themselves.
Oh, thank you very much, guys. Thank you, Precious. Really appreciate you and the numbers. Thank you so much, our celebrity, Maureen. and the man who loves boxing more than I love my mom.
Did you just say that?
And I know you love your mom a lot.
Exactly. We've gone to the end of the show. Ready from Tobi. Put your money on Wilder against Fury.
Fury against Wilder.
Sorry.